guys? Welcome to the Weekend Zone. I'm Britt Johnson. I'm here with Chris Clark, Ty Savage. What's up, guys?
Hi.
What's going on?
How was your Thanksgiving, everybody?
It was great.
It was.
Food was great.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm part Native American. I don't want to get into it right now, but I do appreciate that the holiday has evolved into something nice where you're thankful with friends and family. Let's leave it at that.
Cool.
What's
Okay.
up?
all right, preach on that. So we are going to start off the show today a little bit different. We're going to start off with some L's because a lot of stuff happened this week. A lot of people took L's this week. I don't know if they were just still full from Thanksgiving dinner or what, but Chris, take it away.
Yes. All right, my L of the week goes to this. I'm glad that ties in my shot. This Laker fan that does not get the concept of over and under, okay? They start, you know what, there's a video. Go, just watch the video.
Higher or lower than 0?
Lower.
Lower. Well,
They started off with Kuzma, okay? There's no negative numbers in a deck of cards. And my man said under when they start off with Kuzma. That is the biggest of L's. Laker fans in a nutshell.
Lakers have been they haven't been too bad lately.
Yeah.
They were 7 out of 10 this
They're
last
alright.
whatever.
I mean, they're not the Clippers.
They're not the Clippers. The number one. No. Yeah. I'm gonna do an L because I think it's my turn. I'll let Ty just simmer over there for a second. My L is going to go to Dwight Howard and this whole scandal he has going on. My L's to him for not because he's, gay possibly, or not because he's had to sit out for almost 2 weeks of basketball for a butt injury. My L to him is because he's not addressing the situation.
Yeah.
Like, just address it and then we can move past it. If you're not going to address it, we're going to keep assuming stuff. People are going to keep coming out with different theories, and then we have to keep covering it because we cover every gossip thing in the world that happens, and then it just keeps going on and on and on. If you just address it and move on, everyone will be fine. I don't think people really care that much if somebody's gay. Like, once you say you're gay, then you're gay.
Guys, we've really seen this immature behavior from him before. I'm going to try really hard not to completely bring up what he did to the Lakers, but we know that he does not know how to
tie back to the Lakers.
I mean, he really messed us up, okay? And I will tell you something, that he's getting 2 L's this week because not only did Britt give him an L, but I'm giving him an L, okay? And I'm giving him 2, so he's getting 3 actually. So I'm giving him an L because I do remember what he did.
An L equals a rectangle. You're giving him a rectangle.
Yeah, and
that's like the utmost disrespect.
That's for sure. So I'm giving you your first L because of what you did to the Lakers. And your second L comes, so actually I'm giving you 3. The second L comes because, like what Britt said, you're not addressing this. Dude, just speak up, okay? But the third L is what this man is saying is true, or I'm sorry, if what this woman is saying is true.
No, he's a man.
It's a man.
He's
not transgendered. No, he just said he's a gay man that has
so
his
he's
hair
not
laid,
trans. Okay.
He's a man.
So if what this man is saying is true, major L. Okay, you don't threaten someone's life and have your whole camp come in and threaten someone's life because they didn't sign an NDA. You are an athlete. You should have known to put him on an NDA before you even started messing with him. What's wrong with you? You should know better. You should know better. Shame on you. But we don't care that you're gay or bisexual or whatever. No one cares. It's 2018.
Almost 2019.
Yeah.
Almost 2019. Even worse.
So let's talk about a guy that we've kind of off camera been talking about possibly deserves an L this week. Big Ben, he has been criticizing his teammates. He criticized James Washington, saying that because he didn't make that play, he shouldn't be on the field. He's criticized Antonio Brown, who's one of the greatest receivers of this era. Does Ben have the right to publicly criticize his teammates?
Because he says he does.
Yes, he did say he does.
I have no problem with it. If you're just some Joe Schmo doing it, that's a completely different situation. But if you're the leader of the team, I'm assuming that this is not the first time James Washington is hearing this publicly. Antonio Brown, when that whole thing went on, he came out and said he didn't have a problem with it. I mean, he was a little butthurt at first. They had a conversation over it. Like,
what about him? Because he also did criticize one of the coaches. I think the offensive.
See, and that is different. It's one thing to be your teammates, because like I said, you're going to have a conversation. It's your coach. That's like me back talking my parents on live television.
Or like LeBron
that's
James
authority.
saying that he's not going to listen to the play that Luke Walton just called and he's going to do his own thing.
But we are talking about Ben right now.
Don't do this. This is not a time for the Lakers.
This is not what we're doing right now, okay? Let's stick to the topic at hand and finish, Chris, so that I can jump in.
But that's it. No, coaches are different from players in a sense. From the coaches are there to teach and bring they pull the whole thing together. Your teammates, you are one. You know what I'm saying? You're a squad, you're a brotherhood. So if you're gonna come out and say, if you can't take it personally, you can't take it public. Like, you put me on your Instagram all the time calling me out. I don't care.
Right.
Because you say it in private as well.
We are not on the same team. We are enemies, and that's clear.
Is this not the Fumble? Is there not a Fumble logo up here? There's not a Fumble logo somewhere up here on the screen?
Okay,
We're on the same team.
Yes, we are supposed
We are not
to be
on the same team. We are not on the same team. Me and you are not. Okay.
Whatever.
You guys have been agreeing a lot though lately. You guys might be shifting.
Wow.
That way.
Right. Okay. So first of all, let me say this. It's all fun and giggles, okay, when I'm doing it. But to seriously, okay, yeah, maybe he is saying it in the locker room on a personal level, but to blast that in the media and then all the reports, all the memes, just the distraction that comes from that, I think that can very easily turn into a big cancer and a big problem in the locker room when you make it a public thing. In the NBA, they do their best not to do that, and we all know that. You ask, what did so-and-so...
Sorry.
What did so-and-so say when he whispered that in your ear and you guys almost fist fucked? That's between us. You know what I mean? Like, they really do keep it in the locker room, and you have to respect that. You can't just go like, it's gonna cause tension no matter what. It will cause tension. Bottom line.
I think it depends how people feel about their people on their team, because did we not at the beginning of the season have the same conversation about Odell talking about Eli and Eli not, living up to the level he should? And I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure we all agreed that was okay for Odell to say that and call Eli out, because Eli sucked in that moment. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers they're the top team in their division, and they're one of the top teams in the AFC. So to have a team that's like, we could possibly go to the Super Bowl this year, this is the time that I'm going to call you out and start saying stuff, because those little mistakes are losing games to teams that you guys should not be losing to, end up being the difference on if you guys are going to go to the Super Bowl or not. At this time in December, it's December now, I think at this time it's kind of, you get to the point where I have to say something. And Big Ben, I think he's been in the league a long time. He's done his due diligence. He's had moments when people have gone off on him when he hasn't been the quarterback that we all know and love him to be. So I think it's he's taken it and he can receive it.
What I will say is that I do think if anyone has the right to do it, he has the right, but I do think it's going to cause tension and a problem within the team. But I do think
guys are grown enough to
they're
experienced and grown enough to know that that's not what it means. Well, okay, so we talked about Pittsburgh being one of those teams that obviously are going to make it to the playoffs, do great. But what about those teams that are borderline not going anywhere? They suck. Teams now in the NBA are starting to consider tanking. Is this a good idea?
This isn't a new idea. You know what I mean? We deal with this every year. It's just they're not supposed to, but everyone does it.
But at this, okay.
I mean,
I feel like Chris has a lot on his mind with this one. So we'll let Ty.
I'm just going to finish and say, I see both sides, because if you know you're not going to go anywhere, why not try and get that draft pick? But at the same time, if you're a top level athlete, it's painful to just lose on purpose. That's not something you can really do if you're really into the game.
Well, especially so
it's hard.
Teams are considering now, teams at this point, we're not even halfway into the season yet, and teams are already deciding if they want to start tanking games or not, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, and it's not fair to us as fans, We are not going to get to watch games, competitive games, if we see, when the Clippers are playing the Suns, the Suns are just not going to show up to play. I get the Clippers are number one.
Okay, but do you really think the Cavs stand a chance
even
this season?
Look at the Clippers even this year, okay? Clippers went into this season you guys barely knew who Lou Williams was, and he was the sixth man of the year last year, and people barely Tobias Harris was, and these guys you didn't really know their names. You didn't know who they were compared to the last Clippers where it was DeAndre Jordan, you had JJ Redick, you had Blake Griffin, all these guys, everybody left. The Clippers would have been like, okay, let's just give up and just not play this year and end up being, like we have the Warriors, we have the Rockets, we have the Thunder, we have the Nuggets, all these teams in our division that are going to be great or in our conference. Let's just sit back and not do anything. No, they still stood in there and they fought, and now look where they are right now. Like, who knows if they're gonna, obviously they might drop a little or whatever, but at this point, like, they literally just went out there and played their asses off, even though they're playing against teams that have 5 all-stars on their team, and the Warriors are in 4th place right now.
Now, this is
heated a little bit.
This is a touchy subject for me, and I'm not going to go into crazy detail. I'm not going to say much because I can go on and on about this. Because for those who know, I am a Knicks fan, and I know a lot about the word tanking. Because in the Knicks community, tanking is the #1 concept for everybody. Oh man, tank for Zion, and I'll get that. Here's the thing: with the new rules that changed with this draft, tanking, there's no point in it. If you're not Atlanta, if you're not Cleveland, and if you're not Phoenix, the point in tanking is out the window because those 3 guys are the ones that are going to have any kind of chance to get a first pick. And even if you're Cleveland and you're that bad, you might as well try to win because you're already going to get your losses. And it doesn't matter if you're the worst team in the league. If you're the worst team, you still have the same chance from that same Phoenix Suns or that same Atlanta that are the 2nd and the 3rd worst teams in the league. So to me, the idea of tanking is so toxic for these young players that we see, like a Jahlil Okafor. Like, not every player can come out of a tanking situation and be able to rebuild or survive the entirety of their career when they're on a bad team that is losing every single season. Like Jahlil Okafor when he went for the Sixers, Nerlens Noel that's barely now playing well. And as a Knicks fan, I don't like tanking because if you get that losing in your blood, then you are where we are right now. You continue to lose every single year. So I'm not a fan of tanking.
Thank you for the sermon, Pastor
And
Chris.
it's just who guarantees that the top pick is going to be the best player? I mean, look at Donovan Mitchell, Like, you see guys that, like, end up sprouting when these guys are like 19, 20, 21 years old. They're young guys still, so you don't know when they're going to hit their peak. You don't know if they've already hit their peak and they're going to go downhill after that. So, and
a lot of these guys, it comes back to the same thing. Like, they're going into the right situation. Donovan Mitchell went to a Jazz team that has the right, well, not right now, but they have a winning culture.
Yeah, and they went to the playoffs last year. They beat my Clippers,
exactly. So it's like,
2 years ago. But yeah, let's move on to honorable mentions. Please. Let's get it a little happier here.
So I tank it.
All right.
You really took us to church.
Let's start with Ty.
My honorable mention is going to go to Bronny James Jr. So precious. This is what he's going to be doing at Staples Center soon. I see you, Bronny.
Hey, let's go.
So what you're saying is you're going to tank for Bronny? Because
Chris, they don't need to try to tank.
Oh, God.
Britt, that wasn't even it wasn't even funny. It wasn't even true. It wasn't true. It wasn't anything. So
I wasn't ready for it. Wow.
All right. So we're just abusing. Okay.
Look, the Lakers. I'm sorry. I'm not. You're not gonna get me on your side when it comes to Lakers. All right, I forgot my honorable mention. What was my honorable? Okay. My honorable mention.
You're dumb. There, I said it publicly.
Whatever. My honorable mention goes to Uncle Joe Ingles. This man was already trying to do a funny shot to try to show off for his guys, and then he ends up making the craziest shot, even though it wasn't in the game, it was a warm-up, but check it out. Uncle Joe. Crazy shot off the backboard. The teammates were impressed. That's what you wanted.
Well, speaking of impressive, let's take a look at this from the Seahawks because this is probably going to go down as one of my favorite touchdown celebration dances because it features Allen Iverson. Take a look. I mean, the walkover, that's just complete disrespect.
I'll just laugh because
so
we came back to the Lakers taking another L because it's Tyronn Lue that got walked over by AI. It's just not a good show.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, baby girl.
It's just writing itself at this point. Like, we're not doing this on purpose.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up on that note. Thanks for tuning into the Weekend Zone. Let us know what you thought about everything we talked about today. I'm Britt Johnson, Chris Clark, Ty Savage. That is very savagely pissed off right now. We will see you guys next weekend.